interrupting inner and outer dialogues, going with red, hoping it shows up on this resolution. These two big things could be missiles. Okay? And they got a launch pad. And they got a room, people going in. And they got a room for people going out on the sides in case of fires and stuff. And let's say it's also a meeting place. So it's sort of like medieval launch pad. And say it's the good guys. They got a little circle. It says Mogan. Remember Mogans? Okay. Mogans, big pulsating from the God heavens, not from the world's greatest videotape archives of the split-second daydream memories, as good as those are. The source. Okay. Mogans. Now, this particular launch pad, let's say, is 500 years old. And it's named after a female deity. We'll call it O, meaning our Nostra, our, also sounds like gnosis, like you know this. Our Lady. Okay. That doesn't look very clear. It looks like Lodi. But we'll just say we're stuck in Lady again. Okay. Alright. And they're not missiles, they're towers. Okay. Our Lady. So you have a hierarchy, and it's associated with Mogans. Okay, yay, Mogans. Pumping out the good stuff. Human beings, the identical blue person standing there, getting the Mogan, and goes into this great big building. It says Our Lady, Notre Dame de, you name it, South, Valley, Our Lady, Mother Nature. Also, some people say that's different because, like, I met her, she's down the street, and she's like, but anyway, anyway, so you get the Mogans that people were seeing are reconciled. So you got this structure at the time, which was called the church, that had all kinds of schisms by the time Notre Dame was built. There were other ones that believed in different things. Some people were much more 1968, Summer of Love, we got to work this out that way. Others were God is on our side and you got to watch out, etc. Okay, so 3 minutes into it, I can tell you that most people will tell you that although the Mogan remained the same, call them green now, what went in and out of the church eventually became more those people's problems. Or solutions, but solutions that made them unique. The tendrils, the strings attached, became the story. And so although it was founded by Mogan thinking, the process wasn't preserved, and after a while, like increasingly in today's microwave age, the weave of cloth can get dirty. See, a lot of people, a lot of street people I knew, they changed their clothes frequently. It's kind of like a scam, but also maybe kind of like a treat. Sort of recycle them instead of wash them. Okay, so I'm going to offer up that oh, and then the jealousies. People, all those Mogan people think they're so cool. We'll sneak in and we'll do weird things with that. Same thing I believe has happened to and then so people get mad at the church. Well, the church was a scam. They just tricked us into that building and did all this weird stuff, and they got all the money and the power and stuff. And the truth is, somewhere like the church was probably a good idea for a lot of things, and there was more than one church. Same kind of thing with our military-industrial complex worldwide, all of them. They took the good efforts and guys behind the scenes, whether they were brutally obvious as Hitler or Stalin, or certainly brutally obvious as Hitler, and certainly brutally obvious as Stalin, or somewhere in between. Now we're stuck with these things with great big towers with all these powers. And for those who try to keep a level head about it, I'm reading a number of such books right now. We got stuck with the institutions. And people go, well, it's all a scam. You can't make any sense out of it. So instead of saying there is no Yahweh, there is no Jesus, there is no Our Lady, and like it was all a scam and it's all just tendrils, and then one of them gets you and then you get zapped by the microwave, so you got a tendril coming down and then you get zapped by the microwave, and then it's like, and you're all, and then like you're just looking at those like little identical blue people, and you're all like, well, it doesn't have to be that way. I experience it. Misuse of microwaves, come home, sounds are coming out of places they shouldn't. It's gotten better for me. And people don't talk about it overtly. They didn't talk overtly about the church. Get burned at the stake. It's one way to keep you from voting. So what I'm suggesting is when it comes to our military, our economic system, what we do is going to be a series of changes. This medium right here, here's our chance to shake it and not break it. We can come up with suggestions and have fun in ways that no one ever could. The laptop revolution. $30 billion. You do the math, you'll find out $30 billion ain't jack. Washington, D.C. can find $30 billion, but they got to find a bunch of people who believe in getting that out. The amount of money they just throw out, $30 billion, somehow we can all get together and make sure, way easier than reforming the health system. And there's some people coming on TV going, this Obama thing just might be working. But it's going through the system. The system doesn't look pretty. Supreme Court Justice going, well, you got your broccoli. I'm like, that's just fine. Anyway, so, and we got missiles and we got microwaves, but in a certain sense, just like Notre Dame, we know better. How many people know better? Nowadays, you can look back at the historic decisions of presidents even just 2 terms ago and go, if they had one of these babies, things would have been smoother for everybody. Now, laptop land, key to method. And the method, well, there's a lot of them that we haven't made up yet. One of the methods I'm working on is how to make these not 10 minutes long. So what I'm probably going to do is run this one as a series. But somehow or another, I know that a lot of people don't, unless they're in the habit of just turning these things on. Method. And hearing them out. Die-hard news fans, that's got to be 1% or 1% or 1% or 1%. And then you listen to a couple. But if they were 40 seconds long, but that's not how long it took. So the punchline of this one, if you can't remember, was military-industrial complex and the church. Yes, the military-industrial complex and the church is a lot in common. Life and death institutions based on institutions that could provide unity and freedom. 021.